Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and to my subscribers, welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys for all your support. In today's video, get excited, we are going through the BBB EE, the BBB EE Act in today's video. Much requested video, and here it is, so I hope you enjoy. Please take note that I take no credit for the information given in these slides. I have received these notes and this information from the government and from government resources. I have linked them down in my description below, as well as at the end of the video as resources. You're more than welcome to go check them out. There are a lot of videos and a lot of activities that you can go check out. It is amazing resources, and especially for grade 12 business studies. In this video, I will be making use of the term Black people. This term is only used according to this act, because this act was put in place to redress the disadvantaged people due to the apartheid law that existed before 1994. So please take note that I do not discriminate, and this is a non-biased video. This video has been made in the intention to help students with this particular act for business studies for grade 12, and for those purposes only. I hope you enjoy. The BBBEE, the Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Act. Let's get started. So the act, it was promulgated and established to bring the majority of South Africans into the mainstream of the economy, to significantly accelerate economic growth, provide opportunities for the previously disadvantaged people, and to spread wealth more broadly amongst the population groups. The implementation of this act has increased the number of Black people that manage, own, and control the South African economy. The BBBEE scorecard is used to determine the BBBEE statuses of businesses. BBBEE aims to integrate all citizens of South Africa meaningfully into the economy. So this act, when we're looking at it, we're going to dive more in detail going into the video. But important part here, we're looking at the word broad. So broad meaning big. I always think about broad when I think about shoulders. So if someone's got broad shoulders, it means they've got wide shoulders. So when we're saying broad, we're looking at a wide or a large audience here. So that's important, first of all, to remember this act. The second thing that's very important to remember is we're giving opportunities to those that were previously disadvantaged. Disadvantaged how? Because of the apartheid law that created segregation and that divided the nation. So this law is assisting with those people who were previously disadvantaged. All right, the purpose of BBBEE. It enables wealth to be spread more broadly across all population groups. Aims at targeting inequality in the South African economy. It outlines areas that give the government a platform for bringing the equitable spread of wealth amongst all population groups. It allows for the development of the code of good practice, and it increases the number of Black people that own or control South African businesses. Now we're going to turn and look into the differences between BEE and BBBEE. Very important. I would highlight the section, put it bold, fireworks. This is a very important section, and it's a really nice question that they like to ask. Reason why? It confuses the students, so why not ask it? But it is very simple. It is very simple. There are a few main differences. So before diving into it, I'm going to discuss these main differences. So with BEE, it was established before BBBEE came in place, all right? So that's the first thing to remember, is that BBBEE is what we use now, and BEE is what we used before. The second thing is when you look at the lettering, BEE to BBBEE, you can see there's a short acronym and a long acronym. So the short acronym, we're looking at, it's not including all population groups. It's only a small part of the population. The broader word, BBBEE, there we're looking at the broad population. It's wider, even the word is bigger. So we know that it's going further than just the small population. And then the third thing to remember, a nice tip, is that BEE includes 3 pillars and it's got 3 letters. BBBEE has 5 pillars and it has 5 letters. So these little silly things are very important, and it's nice little tips that you can use when studying for the exams. So when you see these, immediately you can see, short word, small population. Bigger word, broad, wide population. 3 letters, 3 pillars. 5 letters, 5 pillars. Let's dive into it. A government policy may not always be enforced. Here we're looking at BBBEE. It's benefited only a few, see, small, only a few previously disadvantaged people in the economy. This resulted in a few previously disadvantaged individuals sharing in the wealth of the economy. And then it focused only on, as you mentioned, 3 pillars that did not include all of the disadvantaged people. Now we're looking on the other side. BBBEE. This is an act that is enforced and must be complied by businesses. It encourages, what did we say? Wider group of previously disadvantaged people. This includes Black women, people who are physically challenged, youth, and people in rural areas to participate in the economy. It aims to distribute the country's wealth across a broad spectrum of society. Then, as we mentioned, it focuses on 5 pillars, which include all sectors of the society, especially the disadvantaged people and the previously disadvantaged communities. Now we're looking at the application of the pillars. So remembering, these are the revised pillars. All right, so there are 5 pillars. The first one we have is management control, then ownership, enterprise and supplier development, ESD, skills development, and socioeconomic development or social responsibility. Let's dive into them. Management control. So businesses should ensure that transformation is implemented at all levels. We can't just implement BBBEE into 1 or 2 levels. We need to make sure it's implemented at all levels, from lower to medium and top level management. Appoint Black people in senior executive positions or management. Involve Black employees in decision-making processes. And ensure and prioritize Black female representation in management. Then the limitations. Due to a shortage of skilled Black managers or directors, some businesses find it difficult to make appointments. This limits the growth of opportunities for the business. Ownership. Businesses must or should include Black people in shareholding, partnerships, or franchises. Create more opportunities for Black people to become owners and entrepreneurs. Encourage small Black investors to invest in big companies and share ownership. Exempted micro-enterprises, EMEs, that have an ownership of 50% or more of Black people in management are automatically promoted to level 3 of the BBBEE scorecard. Limitation or barrier. Businesses find it difficult to find suitable Black business partners or shareholders that can afford these shares. All right, I reworded it there because the wording in the slides is a little bit off. And then enterprise and supply development, ESD. Businesses must or should be encouraged to invest and support Black-owned small, medium, and micro enterprises, SMMEs. Create jobs as ESD promotes and supports local manufacturing. Keep it local. Make monetary contributions to BBBEE compliant businesses and SMMEs, such as loans, donations, or investments. Also make non-monetary contributions to BBBEE compliant businesses and SMMEs, such as advisory services, consulting services, or entrepreneurial programs. So with this pillar, we're looking at making monetary contributions. So monetary meaning money. So we can do that with loans or donations or investments. Then non-monetary, so advisory services. So we get another company in to look at our company and try and assist us. Maybe we've got too many expenses. Maybe we have placed the employees in the wrong positions and they should rather be in finance versus marketing, or whatever the case is. So this pillar assists us and helps us to bring about these. And these are the advantages, I guess, for these. Then a limitation. ESD promotes preferential procurement, and businesses often do not have a choice but to transact with BBBEE approved vendors that are not necessarily their first choice. So when taking on a project, or if we put out a tender that we need a company to assist us with training or working for us, right? There might be a company we have in mind, or there might be a company who has submitted their documents and they're our first choice, but they're not BBBEE approved. So that's one of the limitations, or I would say disadvantage, is that we can't pick the businesses that we necessarily want to work for, because we need to look at their BBBEE rating and their BBBEE levels. Skills development. Businesses must or should engage or involve Black employees in various skills development training programs and initiatives. Then there's a benefit from an increased pool of skilled or trained employees, which increases overall productivity in the workplace. It provides learnerships and learning programs to Black employees. Then there's a contribution of 1% of the annual payroll if the payroll of all the employees, just remember that, exceeds 500,000. And then this funds their skills development programs. So just diving into that, if we're sending more of our employees, specifically our Black employees, for skills and skills training, maybe telephone etiquette, time management, or even some skills to assist them with their job, like Microsoft training for Word and Excel and PowerPoint, then the pool of employees that we have are going to be of a higher skill level, which increases our productivity. So that's a huge bonus and a benefit for the business. And then providing learnerships and partnerships to Black employees. Then a limitation or a barrier. Businesses often compromise productivity as mentors or coaches have to use work hours to participate in learnerships. So we send our employees on a 3-day course. Now that's 3 days that they are not working, or it's 3 days where our facilitator, our mentor, has to go out of working hours to go and do this training. So in that, we do lose productivity, but I think in the end run, it's better to send them on training versus not send them for training. Then socioeconomic development or social responsibility. Businesses should contribute towards social investment projects and community development. Focus on critical areas of CSI, corporate social investment, such as development in the country, for example, environmental awareness, education, housing, poverty, unemployment, and so on. Distribute scarce CSI resources to selected beneficiaries in the community. Promote sustainable use of natural resources and support businesses that make use of sustainable production techniques, and sustainable energy utilization practices. So with the CSI, a nice one that I like to think of is KFC, where you give 2 Rand for hope and then they feed children who don't have food. So that's a very good program that assists with the economy. So in this, they need to contribute and give back to the community. So that's what this pillar is explaining. And then the limitation. Businesses often are not knowledgeable or experts at societal issues and social responsibility, and may result in wastage of financial resources if not investigated correctly. So an example here, a very nice example, is your retail stores, the amount of deliveries they get every week. Now think about all the packaging and the boxes that their goods are coming in. Now what happens with those boxes? What is going to happen with those boxes? We're just going to throw them away? Are we going to dump them somewhere? So very, very important to remember that the people that work for our company might not know how to recycle or how to look after these goods and how to be sustainable. So that might be a limitation. Obviously, we can get people in that can assist. We can get companies to assist, but initially this is a limitation. Now we're looking at the impact of BBBEE on a business. Remembering we have positives and negatives. Let's look at the positives. Businesses who are BBBEE compliant will be rated high on the BBBEE scorecard and may get government tenders and may attract other BBBEE business partners or suppliers. It encourages businesses to address the demands or redress equity directly in the workplace. It provides for enhanced human resource development through effective training and development. It promotes enterprise development by developing entrepreneurial skills of designated people to establish their own businesses. And businesses that focus on BBBEE show commitment towards the social, educational, and economic development in the community or the country. It improves the image of businesses because of a good BBBEE rating attracts more investors to that business. Now let's look at the negatives. The implementation of BBBEE is time-consuming, expensive, prescriptive, and administratively burdensome, especially attaining to BBBEE scorecard ratings and training of the employees. Businesses have to endure rigid processes of having their BBBEE compliance measured, varied by independent BBBEE verification agencies. Some processes associated with BBBEE, if not monitored properly, may lead to corruption, nepotism, or cronyism. BBBEE advocates in enterprise and supply development ESD, which means certain businesses that are not approved BBBEE vendors may be excluded from supplying goods and services. And then continued, businesses that wish to acquire government tenders and conduct business with the state may have their BBBEE status assessed annually. So this then further increases the administrative burden of the business. There's cost to increase as a business has to spend money on the correct compliance with the 5 BBBEE pillars in order to obtain the good BBBEE rating. Then actions regarded as non-compliance by BBBEE. Employers who incorrectly implement the means to achieve the requirements of the 5 pillars. Employers who fail to correctly implement affirmative action in the context of employment equity to meet the BBBEE responsibilities. And employers who promote unsustainable people into management positions at the expense of qualified, previously disadvantaged people. Employers who are deliberately involved in fronting, corruption, nepotism, and cronyism. And because of this, certain individuals benefit at the expense of other individuals. Refusing to award government tenders to BBBEE compliant vendors. Now, what are the penalties or the consequences for non-compliance? Businesses that do not comply with BBBEE may receive a compliance order from the Labour Court which forces the business to therefore comply with BBBEE. Businesses who neglect to comply with BBBEE may receive large fines for fronting practices and may even be given a jail sentence or imprisonment, which may be dependent on the severity of the non-compliance. Businesses may be fined with a penalty of up to 10% of their annual turnover of businesses. The state may decide not to renew business licenses, revoke the business license, or refuse to grant authorization to conduct business activities. The state may cancel any contract awarded to businesses that have acquired them based on false information regarding their BBBEE status. Approved BBBEE compliant vendors will withdraw their contracts with non-compliant businesses. So now, how can businesses comply with BBBEE? Businesses need to find all means to achieve the requirement of the 5 BBBEE pillars, such as promoting affirmative action when making their appointments. So that's when hiring the staff. Conduct business activities with BBBEE compliant vendors, suppliers, and participate in preferential procurement. Conduct regular skills training with their Black employees. Sell shares to more Black individuals within and outside of the organization. Appoint and promote more Black employees into managerial positions. Implement sound corporate social investment policies to improve the development society at large. And we've reached the end of our video. So here are the resources that I spoke of in the beginning of the video. The first one is a learner book that you're more than welcome to use. And the second one, we're looking at all the resources. So there's a lot of different activities, learner books, guides that you can go through, even lessons for every week that gets dealt with business studies for grade 12. I hope you all found that insightful and helpful. Please let me know in your comments down below which topic you'd love to see and love to hear next. I really hope that these videos are helping, and I'm so glad to see the ones that are helping. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye for now.